So if you're coming to the video, then coming into child's pose. If you're coming from the last video, just staying exactly where you are. So in child's pose, allowing the heels and the hip bones to touch. Gently resting the forehead down on the ground. If the forehead doesn't quite get there, you can take a block or anything to rest your forehead on. Staying in child's pose. Maybe the toes are touching, maybe the knees are a little bit wide. And just allowing yourself to rest in child's pose. Allowing the sensation of the forehead pressing down on the ground. A sense of encouraging your front of your brain, the active part of your brain, to slow down, to quieten down. Noticing how it feels in the body to breathe. That sensation of the back of the ribs gently rising and falling as you rest in child's pose. Just allowing your breath to be easy and allowing any thoughts to come and go without any attachment, no holding on. Just allowing them to come and go like clouds passing through the sky. And if you find you get attached to any of those thoughts, just gently bringing yourself back to the sensations in the body, maybe to the breath. Just finding that softness and that easiness, that letting go. As you soften your body down. Allowing a few more easy breaths here. And as you feel ready, just gently supporting yourself, allowing the hands to gently bring yourself up to sitting on the heels. Now, sitting on the heels isn't comfortable for you, you can place a cushion between your bottom and the heels. Or maybe just allowing yourself to come and sit cross-legged, whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe taking a couple of shoulder rolls, maybe some neck rolls as you settle into this position. Just working out any of the kinks. And then coming to settle here, we're going to take a few breaths. The option here is to take what's called lion's breath. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and then as we breathe out through the mouth, we're going to open up the mouth and have an audible sigh as we breathe out. Closing the eyes. With the eyes closed, you can point the eyes up towards the third eye, so it's kind of like you're going cross-eyed. It's a good stretch in your eyes. The option as well is to, when you open up the mouth, to stick your tongue out. Again, it's a nice stretch in the jaw. Depends where you are, depends how comfortable you feel. So we'll take a few breaths like this. So as we get comfortable, on the inhale, you're going to lift up. The exhale, pressing your hands down, just behind the knees. You're going to poke your chest through the gap and open up, arching the back as you open the mouth. So join me when you're ready. Inhale up through the nose. Close the eyes, open up the mouth. Inhale comes up through the spine, straighten up. Exhale opens up the mouth, maybe sticking out the tongue. Inhale and breathing out. Exhale, open up the mouth, audible sigh. Two more, just like this. Inhale. Good, last one. Inhales up. Keeping the eyes closed. Just come to settle in stillness again. Letting the shoulders in the face settle back down. sensations that have come up to just settle in here. And then as you're ready, we'll come over back into a tabletop position. So placing the hands down, allowing the knees to be around hip distance, stacking the joints. Just taking a few cat-cows just to move the spine here. So inhale, drops the belly, take a look forwards. And then exhale, rounding the spine, dropping the chin to the chest. And just a couple more like this, just moving in the spine. If you feel you want to move a little bit more, maybe rocking side to side. Any kind of movement that feels good for you here, just taking that. And from here, we're going to find our way into a low lunge. So you have the choice to either just take your right leg and step it forwards, coming into a low lunge here, finding your way how you like. The other option, if you have downward dog in your practice or you want to try it here, you can lift up, curl the toes under, come into downward dog. Knees can be as bent as you like, just let the head and neck go heavy. Maybe you want to take a lift up with the right leg, and then allow that right leg to sweep underneath to come into your low lunge. As you come forwards, the back knee comes down, untuck the back toes. So you want to find this kind of right angle position, front knees over the ankle, and your feet are on train tracks rather than a tightrope, so you have a bit of stability. You can see the gap here, gives you a little bit more stability. From here, depending on your mobility in your shoulders, you might want to take a little shoulder roll, maybe an inhale to reach the arms up, and then gliding the arms down. Just allow the hands to drop down to the ground, palms facing forwards. So you're getting a little opening in the chest. As you stay here, feel as if your thighs are squeezing towards each other, and this front knee is just gently slotting back, so you can feel the sensation in the hip flexor and the other leg. With the palms facing forwards, there's a little lift and an open in the shoulders and the chest. If it feels good for you, you could dip in a little lower, maybe lift the chest, look up. See how it feels for you. Maybe just staying here is where you want to be today. Taking a couple more breaths here, really allow the exhale to soften in your body. This kind of letting go of any tension you're accidentally holding. And then as you're ready, we're going to take our left hand down next to our right foot. We're going to take an opening into a twist. So with this arm, you have a few choices. Maybe you just want to poke the elbow up to the sky, a little opening in the side of the body. Maybe the hand stays just kind of holding onto the body. For those of you with the availability, you can lift the arm up, maybe taking a little stretch up. If you're not there yet, and you're still working with your shoulder, you can kind of lift up, maybe to wherever feels comfortable, or just bending the arm. See how it feels for you. But you're really just allowing the side of the body to open up into this twist. Keep pushing through the front foot and the back leg so you feel supported. And as you're ready, we'll take a switch over to the other side. So again, your choice. If you want to come into a downward dog to find the transition, you can. The other option is to just switch your knees. Just switch the legs over. Really simple. Give this leg some help to get to the front if you want to, or maybe you're coming up into downward dog, lifting that left leg, sweeping it forwards. Down on that back knee, untucking the back toes again. Find your stability before you come up. Really push through that front foot, front knees over the ankle. Maybe the palms of the hands open out to the side again. Maybe you want to take a little lift up and an opening to get there. Just feeling out what feels good for you. Allowing that front leg to gently slot back into the body. Maybe opening up a little in the chest, taking a lift, or staying exactly where you are. You can fix your gaze on something that's not moving, so you can feel this sense of stability, catching balance. As soon as we move the legs apart, it's technically a balance. So wobbling and falling out is totally fine. Again, just a couple more breaths here. And then from here, the right hand's going to come down to the ground now. If you can't quite get the hand to the ground, you can always pop your hand on some bricks, books, anything to support you. And then open up this side of the body. Again, your hand might stay close into the body. Maybe the elbow lifts up, maybe the whole arm lifts up. See where you're at. Only go to wherever feels comfortable. Keep the connection with the hand on the ground and the front foot on the ground, so the twist is coming from the middle of the body. Allowing that sense of opening. Good, and then from here, unraveling yourself. We're going to find our way to standing, so your choice how you get there. Maybe you just want to bring the knees together and find your way up. The option is to take a step forwards, so you're meeting that front foot to come into a forward fold. Now see how you go. You want to come into a forward fold. The knees can be as bent as you like. And you're just allowing the head and the neck to dangle. As you're ready, we'll come up really slowly to standing. So just gently uncurling your spine, one vertebrae at a time. However you're coming up, just do it nice and slowly. And then as you get to the top, allow the head to be the last thing that comes up. Taking a couple of little rolls in the shoulders, maybe a little wobble from side to side. As we take a couple of balances here. So when we move into balances, you want to find a place where you feel really stable on the ground. So maybe picking up the toes, the feet, placing them back down, finding that connection with the ground. You can even imagine a sensation of growing roots, so you're really connecting down with the ground. A sense of pulling up in the thighs so you feel really strong. We'll start by bringing weight into your left foot and bringing up your right leg. So we're going to come into tree. So fix your gaze on something in front of you that's not moving, maybe around eye height. And you have the choice, you can either bring the leg out to the side and allow it to stay on the ground. Maybe you want to bring it up behind, below the knee, not on the knee, or maybe above the knee, your choice here for tree, however it feels good for you. And then just taking a couple of breaths here before you move, wherever you are, remembering that it's a balance, so wobbling, falling out is totally fine. Just take your time to come back in. If it feels good to move the hands, you could maybe bring the palms together in front of the heart. A little roll of the shoulders, a little release there. An inhale up through the nose, and an exhale, open up the mouth just like we did earlier, sigh it out. Little wiggle of the jaw if you know you hold tension there. Little wiggle of the face. And just a couple breaths, just like this. And then as you're ready, just releasing the hands down. And then allowing the foot to come down to the ground, maybe a little wiggle from side to side. Reconnecting the other foot to the ground. Right foot now, pushing down. Lift up through the thighs. Coming to tree on the other side. Doesn't matter if you're symmetrical here. Maybe one leg goes a little higher than the other. Maybe the balance was different. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Fixing your gaze on something that's not moving. Finding your breath here. Getting that connection and that stability with that grounded foot. And then eventually you can bring the palms of the hands together. Maybe taking a little roll of the shoulders. Maybe a few lines, breaths, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. A wiggle of the jaw. Any kind of tension you know you hold on to. Just letting them go here. Good, and then as you're ready, just releasing the hands down. Allowing the foot to come back to the ground. So coming to do another balance here. So bringing the weight to the left foot, we'll keep alternating the feet. Left foot, draw through the thigh again, fix your gaze. This time as we lift up the right leg, we're going to take a hold just behind the knee. So as you hold on to the shin here, take a roll of the shoulders, allow the shoulders to draw down and away. Feel as if this hip is just gently coming down, so the lifted leg, we don't want to pop out to the side, draw it down. And then as you're ready, the right hand's going to hold onto the right shin. We're just going to open up the leg to the side. You can take the hand onto the hip if that feels good. Just a little opening into your hip. Keep your gaze fixed. Draw the shoulders down, relaxing the jaw. And then as you're ready, bringing that leg back to center. Keep the gaze where it is. Switch the arms over now. Maybe the left hand comes over. We're going to open out to the side so the hand can come behind you. Or open out. Remember, if lifting this leg isn't there for you, you can keep the foot down on the ground. You can do all of that with the foot down on the ground. It will open up to the side. Maybe you have the foot up for a little bit, then it comes down again. So play with the balance. As you open around to the side, ideally we're moving the gaze with us, but if the balance is off, keep it at the front. Just finding a twist in the body. Good, and then as you're ready, just coming back to centre. If the legs are lifted, just gently bringing it back down. Same thing, just a little wiggle from side to side, shake it out. Maybe a shake of the hands, shake the legs, wiggle of the jaw. Any tension that you're picking up, just getting rid of that. Then bringing the weight into the right foot. And then lifting up the leg. Remember, you can keep the foot down on the ground, this is fine. Maybe it lifts up a little bit, maybe it's ready to come up. Just know that some days it's going to be different, some days the leg's going to be up, sometimes it's not. Totally fine. Take a couple of breaths here, draw the shoulders down. And then left hand holds onto the left shin, gently opening up to the side. Again, remembering you could have the foot down on the ground, that's fine. Hand on the hip. Just keep that left hip in line with the right hip. And then as you're ready, bring it back to centre. Right hand comes to take a hold. Now we're twisting to the side. So allow yourself to open up into the opposite direction. Again, foot might be down on the ground, it's fine. Just finding that opening in the side of the body. And then as you're ready, just gently coming back to centre. Again, leg comes back down to the ground. Wiggle from side to side. Good. From here, we're going to take just a couple more standing postures. So coming to the front of your mat, if you're not there already, we're going to take a step back with our right foot. As the foot steps back, we're going to allow the toes to point out towards the right hand corner. So we're coming into a warrior one. So you've got enough distance so that your knee is over the ankle and your hips are square. So you want your hip bones pointing towards the front. And the reason why this toe is pointing out to the side, it gives you a bit more space in the knee. The back leg is straight. The feet need to be wide enough, like on train tracks again, so you feel stable. Gently putting that hip forwards. Again, same thing here, your choice. If you want to sweep the arms up, if it's there for you, and draw them round before you come palms facing forwards, get your gaze towards the front of the room. And just pausing there. So as you're pausing there, you want to feel as if you're pushing through the back edge of the back foot and leg. That front knee's over the ankle, and like we were in the low lunge, the legs are kind of squeezing towards each other, so you feel really stable. Good. And then from here, we have the option, if you want to do it, we can come into warrior three, which is another balance. We'll put the weight through the front foot, and we'll start to come forwards. There's a bend in that front leg. Now the option here is to just lift up off of the back foot. Maybe our hands come down to the ground. Maybe we want to lean on a wall or a radiator or something like that. Totally fine. If you want to go for the full expression of it, you can lift the back leg up, flex the toes so the toes are pointing down to the ground, and then reaching the hands away. Keep that back hip sliding down. But it's okay if your hands are on the ground, maybe the feet are on the ground. We're just playing with balance here. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. And then when you're ready, that back foot's going to step all the way forwards. Maybe into a forward fold, maybe straight to standing, see how you feel. If you come into a forward fold, then just gently rolling yourself back up. A little roll of the shoulders. And then just coming to the other side now, so the left foot's going to take a step back. Coming into warrior one on the other side. So that front knee's over the ankle. The back foot's pointing out towards the left-hand corner. Push through the back edge of the back foot and the leg. Square your hips forward, so you really feel like you're bringing that hip forwards. And then reaching the arms up and over, or straight down. Just a roll of the shoulders, palms facing forwards. Fixing the gaze again, and really get this strength in the legs. How strong you can be rooting down in the bottom half, so the top half is elevated and lifted. Take a couple of breaths here. Allow the exhale to really draw away any tension. Maybe you want to inhale through the nose, exhale, out through the mouth, little wiggle out of the jaw. Then from here, it's there. If you want to try it, maybe coming forwards into warrior three. So into the leg, the front leg, starting to come forwards, maybe lifting up with the back foot, squaring the hips. Maybe just a hand comes down to the ground, maybe the foot just plays around coming off a little bit. Wherever you are, just take a few breaths there. Find your balance, fix your gaze. This time this back foot's going to step all the way back. We're going to come into warrior two. So this back foot this time is going to point towards the side of the room. The front foot, the knees over the ankles still, we're opening the body all the way out to the side. Kind of want to feel like you're pulling back in the butt cheeks to open up in the hips. If you want to look down, you'll want your front heel roughly in line with the middle of the back foot. And then we've got the choice with the arms, maybe reaching the arms out to the side, and then our gaze is going to go over the front middle finger. Hands are kind of reaching away. Again, if the mobility in the shoulder doesn't let you get there, go for wherever you can get to that feels comfortable. And then find a softening in the shoulders again. It's a kind of position of two halves. The bottom half is strong and rooted down. The top half is lifted and loose. So allow the shoulders to be soft. And then when you're ready, we'll just switch over to the other side. Really simple. Just lift up straight in the front leg. Switch your feet so the back foot becomes the front foot becomes the back foot. And then allow yourself to reach the arms back out again. Just check again that heel's in line with the middle of the back foot. Should be pretty solid as you just kind of move from one position to the other. Draw the shoulder blades away. Gaze goes over now the new front middle finger. And get that sensation again of that rooting down in the bottom half to lift up and open in the top half. Good, one more breath like this, releasing in the jaw, softening in the shoulders. And then spinning yourself all the way back towards the front again. We're going to find our way to seated. Your option here as you come down to seated, come any way you like. You can either finish the video here and move on with the rest of your day, or you could move on to the next video where we'll do a seated sequence, moving our way, kind of transitioning into an easy, gentle, quietening down, ideal for leading up towards bedtime. So your choice, whatever feels good for you.